All right, so you've just started using a CPAP machine. And let me guess, you're probably feeling more frustrated than rested, right? Well, let me tell you, that is completely normal. In the next few minutes, we're going to walk through exactly how to turn that, well, kind of awkward machine into your absolute best friend for a great night's sleep.
Yeah, does this feel a little familiar? You know that feeling of being tangled up in a hose, fighting with a mask, and listening to this machine humming away next to your bed. It can feel super awkward, maybe even a little claustrophobic. And honestly, it's a huge reason why so many people just want to give up right at the start.
But here's the good news. You are so not alone in this. I mean, pretty much everyone goes through this adjustment period. Sticking with it, though, it's one of the best things you can possibly do for your health. And we are about to walk through exactly how to make this whole thing work for you.
Okay, so before we dive into the nuts and bolts of troubleshooting, let's just take a quick step back and remember why this whole journey is so incredibly important. It really all starts with understanding the problem your CPAP is actually designed to solve.
So this is the core issue, right? Obstructive sleep apnea. And it's not just about snoring, it's way more serious. It's your body literally being starved of oxygen for moments at a time, over and over again. We're talking sometimes hundreds of times a night. Your brain has to jolt you awake, just enough to take a breath, and that completely destroys your sleep quality.
So how does this machine actually help? Well, it's a surprisingly simple idea. The CPAP machine doesn't breathe for you, not at all. It just provides this gentle, constant breeze. Think of it like a little air splint that keeps your airway open all night long. That's it. No more blockages and no more waking up gasping for air.
And let me tell you, the payoff for sticking with it, it's huge. We're talking about truly restful sleep, waking up with real energy for your day, and seriously cutting your risk for some major health issues like high blood pressure, heart problems, and stroke. Oh, and bonus, a quieter night usually means a much happier partner sleeping next to you.
All right, let's get into it. Let's tackle the biggest challenge for pretty much every new user, the mask. Seriously, if the mask isn't right, nothing else is going to feel right either. But the key thing to remember is that you have options, and getting comfortable is possible.
So the first big decision you've got to make is the mask style. And trust me, it is not a one-size-fits-all situation. For example, if you tend to breathe through your mouth, a full face mask is probably your best bet. But if you're a side sleeper, or if you get that claustrophobic feeling, a smaller nasal mask or even a nasal pillow mask can be a total game changer. The right choice really just comes down to how you sleep.
And listen, this is so important. You are not supposed to just tough it out. If your mask is uncomfortable, if it's causing pain or leaving sore spots on your face, it's not the right fit. Period. That's your signal to call up your provider and say, hey, I need to try a different size or a different style.
You know, the real key to getting comfortable is to just ease into it. Don't feel like you have to go for a full 8 hours on night one. Instead, try this. Just wear the mask by itself for a little while when you're awake, maybe while you're watching TV. Then add the hose, but keep the machine off. And then finally, turn on the machine using that ramp feature. Building up that familiarity while you're awake makes it so much less weird when you're trying to fall asleep later.
Okay, so once you're starting to get the hang of the mask, the next hurdle is usually the air itself. Yeah, that forced air can feel pretty strange at first, and it can cause a few common side effects. But don't worry, they are very solvable. So let's look at two of the biggest complaints, right? First, if that air pressure just feels way too strong right away, that ramp feature on your machine is going to be your best friend. It starts the pressure out really low and only slowly increases it after you've fallen asleep. And second, if you're dealing with a dry, stuffy nose or a dry mouth, a heated humidifier is basically non-negotiable. Seriously, it makes a massive difference. Here are a couple more quick fixes for you. Got a leaky mask? Your first instinct is probably to crank down on the straps, right? But that usually makes it worse. It just creates new pressure points. Instead, try lifting the mask straight off your face and then gently setting it back down. That'll often create a much better seal. And what if the machine itself seems really loud? Check the air filter. A dirty, clogged filter makes the motor work harder, and that means more noise.
So we've covered the equipment, now let's talk about you. Because it turns out that your sleeping position plays a huge role in how comfortable you are and, honestly, how well the therapy even works.
And this breakdown is super helpful. See, for most people with sleep apnea, sleeping on your back is actually the worst position. Why? Because gravity just naturally causes your airway to collapse more. The best position, on your side.
And here's the thing, your sleep position should totally influence your mask choice. A full-face mask, that's pretty stable if you're a back sleeper. But if you're on your side, something less bulky like a nasal or nasal pillow mask is way less likely to get pushed out of place.
And hey, here's a little pro tip for you. If you are a side sleeper, try to favor your left side. It's kind of cool. For anatomical reasons, sleeping on your left side can actually help reduce acid reflux. And that's a nice little bonus because acid reflux can really aggravate sleep apnea.
Okay, so we've covered the gear, we've covered your habits. Now, let's bring it all together and talk about the mindset you need to have for long-term victory here.
And this quote from the Mayo Clinic really says it all. This isn't some overnight fix. It's a process. So give yourself some grace, okay? It takes time to find the right settings, to get used to the mask, but the payoff for your health and your quality of life is, well, it's immeasurable. It really is.
It really all boils down to these 4 key things. First, be patient with the process. It can take weeks, and that's okay. Second, partner with your provider. They are your best resource for getting the mask and pressure settings just right. Third, a clean machine is key. Keep it clean to avoid skin irritation. And finally, and this is maybe the most important one, be consistent. You've got to use it every single time you sleep, naps included. That's what really delivers those life-changing results.
Look, you started this whole journey to improve your health and to get your life back. And yeah, the road might be a little bumpy at first, but with these tips and just a little bit of patience, you absolutely can conquer your CPAP. You can finally get that deep, restorative sleep that you really truly deserve.